Dr. Dalal is one of the top health experts right here in South Carolina. Give her a big round of applause.
Hello, doctor. How are you? Oh, I'll shake your hand. You're not going to hurt me, are you?
I won't hurt you, but
Thank you.
actually, if you're a leader, you need to be a server. You need to serve first in order for you to become a leader. And you need to really want it as bad as water and food, because you want to make a difference. And you need to lead people. And you lead people by showing them that they have the same mission and vision you have. And together, you and your staff can change and transform the world.
Welcome to a new episode of Business Meets Life. And today we have a very, very special guest. All the way joining us from the USA, we have Dr. Dalal Akoury. And I'm going to let her introduce herself soon. But all I want you guys to know is that 6 years ago, I met her at a conference. From far away, I saw her doing what she's best at. She takes care of people. And she was like smiling where people could see her meters away. She took care of the main organizer of that event, that he's always full of energy and healthy so that he can do what he is best at. Now, since 6 years, I've been following her. After 6 years, finally, I had the time and the chance to talk to her one-on-one. And she's just full of love, full of energy. Now, she really makes an impact in people's lives all around the world. And beyond this, she knows amazing people like Oprah, Mark Wahlberg, Al Pacino, and so on. But I hope that you will be as amazed by her and her love and her positive energy. Dr. Dalal, thank you so much for making time for us. And my first question of you would be, and I'm sure you hear this often, how is it possible you're always so energetic and full of love and happiness with huge smiles? What's your secret?
Love. I talk from the heart. I love from the heart. I came with a why. I came with a purpose. I was born with one, and I know I will not leave the planet until that mission is complete. So I think love is what gave me resilience. Love is what gave me forgiveness. Love is what made me succeed. And love gives me the smile and the gratitude. I'm continuously grateful, always happy and grateful that I was able to be a part of the world. And that but I do know for a fact that I am here on a mission. I know for a fact that I'm here with a plan. And it took me a long time to really find my mission, but I knew that I came here with a plan. And I really hope that each and every one that sees me and touch me and talk to me become part of my mission or part of my journey to help me accomplish what I'm here for. So that's what I'm here for.
Wow.
Beautiful start.
Wait, sorry, now I have an echo. I'm going to cut that out. Sorry, that's my echo now. Thank you so much for the wonderful inspiration in here. And now I would like to ask you, tell us a little bit more about your journey. I mean, I've heard your story before, especially how you went into medicine and cancer treatment. Would you mind sharing that story again?
Well, my name is Dalal Akoury, and I was born in Egypt, and I had a dream to be like my father. I wanted to be an engineer like him, but he ended, succumbing to pancreatic cancer when I was 17. I was the oldest of four, and that was the biggest turning point to my life at that moment. So when I lost my dad to pancreatic cancer, I knew that I'm not going to be an engineer anymore. And instead, I became a doctor, and I wanted to become a doctor. And my dream was to really find answers to cancer and really help I was a young woman at that time, but back then, it's not like now. I mean, at 17, I was so attached to my dad. He was who I wanted to be like. Maybe for some people that is not a turning point, but for me it was. especially when I was the oldest of four and I was raised in Egypt. So I was determined that I am going to really find an answer. I became a doctor, and during that journey of being a doctor, I just, got married and had two children, and I was still in Egypt, but still that itch that I had wanted me to really find answers. So I decided to leave Egypt and go to the US, and I had to make a major, major difficult decision, which was to leave my two sons in Egypt. My oldest was just 2.5 years old, and my youngest was barely less than a year old. And I can't forget that those year and a half away from my children was the most painful moment of my life. However, I just knew that I needed to find answers. So I went to medical school in Egypt, but I had to redo a lot of my training back in the US. I did my residency again in pediatrics at LSU Shreveport, and did my pediatric fellowship in hematology oncology at St. Jude, partly in the CDC, and the Emory University. And, I just didn't find all the answers I was looking for with the traditional model. And I knew there's more. It's not just a band-aid to what we know, but it's still the science that I learned in medicine was a massive help to me because it gave me a different way to think. And so I am still a Western medicine medically trained physician who have incorporated a lot of other modalities, like integrative medicine, that I call integrative medicine, that include traditional Chinese medicine, homeopathy, anti-aging, metabolic medicine, precision medicine. You just call it whatever you want, and even old Egyptian medicine, all that. I used every single one of these tools to really be of service to my patients. I always studied, I always researched, I always done a lot of ways to create a roadmap, understand the root cause, and then from the root cause do diagnostic workup that helped me to figure out what's going on. And based on what's going on, I created phases to address the issue. And that's how you really help people to go from down to up, to really find the path to success. And that's the same for everything we do, is if you know the why and if you know the how, you end up creating the roadmap. If you follow the roadmap with the precision, you end up always succeeding. Now, is it going to be always easy? No. But you have a system, you have a plan, you have a roadmap, you have a GPS. So I created a GPS for me that I'm now trying to instruct and teach doctors from all over the world, and teach coaches, teach nutritionists, teach naturopath, anyone who wants to really succeed in changing lives and making a difference. Yeah.
Wow. So I've noted down the why and the how, going back to the root cause, and I'm happy to see that you're not just like kind of like stilling the symptoms, but you're going back to the root and follow the roadmap. I hope, guys, you're also taking some notes at the same time. It seems like you've really made a big sacrifice also when you mentioned the family that you had to leave behind because of this bigger mission, this bigger purpose. Can you summarize for us again, like, what exactly is that mission? Because you also mentioned how important the why is. You also mentioned like to be of service. What's that mission that you are following, or your purpose in life?
You really are born with one, okay? And none of us really know that. Sometimes it could take a lifetime for us to know the purpose, but to work toward the purpose. I knew that I was living a purpose-driven life. I knew that I'm here on a purpose. But right now, my purpose also have really changed to become the masterpiece of purpose that I was supposed to design or be part of. Okay, my purpose was to understand how the body works. My dad was the reason why his purpose was to get me to become who I am today. His illness was the reason, the root cause for me being who I am today. That made me an investigator. So at that point, I was an investigator. That was my purpose at that time, is to prepare myself. And at time, it's a lifetime until you prepare yourself to really deliver the mission. My mission right now is to share what I have learned, what I was placed on the earth to learn. And my mission is to take what I've learned now, because I'm almost 70 years old. I know people won't believe it, but I really am. I was born in 1954, and I will be this June 70 years old. So really,
Wow.
why do I look the way I look? Is because I have a purpose. I am here to fulfill that purpose, and it is what I've learned and what I created, what I documented, what I automated in order for us to have a better, healthier life, is what my purpose is right now. And a second purpose, I believe, is to help women and men, because I really have never divided myself into a sector of either division between men or women. I'm here for the humankind. So is to help them. If I could do it, why can't you? If I could do it after an open heart surgery, after 2 strokes, after my dad passed away, after leaving my 2 children, after having the challenge to live in a different foreign country and succeed in a field which is a very difficult field, why can't I? Why can't you? Why can't she? Why can't he? So it's really about 2 purposes. The one is the medical purpose, is to drive people to know that there is a better way, and nature is here to really be part of the healing process. Actually, nature is the healing process, and our body has all the possibilities to heal. It has all the power to heal. So we have everything that we can to heal. Now, science helped us to really define more, to be more specific and better precise. So I am not anti-science. Of course not. I am absolutely for science and precision and understanding the DNA and understanding how to unravel it and understanding the whole cascade of things. But also, I cannot forget that nature has all the answers, you know? So again, I have 2 purposes. One is to help people survive and thrive, not only as a medical doctor, but as a human being who was resilient, who was unstoppable despite all the challenges, who had gone through a whole lot and still here at this age and stage, smiling, laughing, looking good, trying. I could have said, I'm done 70 now, almost. I've put my kids to school. I'm very grateful. One of them is a medical doctor and one is a doctor in AI. But no, I'm not done. I don't feel I am done. I feel like I am here to have our voice amplified. I'm here to inspire. I'm here to evoke change. I'm here to let people know, let's go back to the inside. Let's go back to the power of the planet, the power of the earth, the power of God. Why are we trying to omit God from this equation? I am not going to tell people religion or anything. Everybody is up to him to do what they want. But I know there is a creator. And I know that I have survived miraculously many, many things. And it cannot just be a hazardous thing. I mean, just look at the body and the beauty of the body and how everything works. It's unbelievable how it regenerates. We're talking about stem cells, but where are stem cells coming from? From us. What are we? We're not rediscovering anything. We're just using nature.
nature has all the answers, and I'm just surprised. I didn't know. I think you just mentioned you even had strokes before.
I had 2 strokes. The last one was
And
3 months ago.
oh my gosh.
Yep.
I'm sorry to hear this, and at the same time, again, it's just unbelievable. With seems like the willpower you have, the purpose, and you are here. You look like as nothing has happened, full of energy. It seems like you have a bit of a cold, maybe, but nothing can stop you. It's unbelievable, and I'm just so happy to see that you're still doing so well after what you have gone through. Wow.
What I've gone through is part of my purpose, though. It taught me
Yeah.
a lot more. It taught me how to really appreciate every moment. It taught me that, you know, you can overcome anything and everything, that, you know, nature can help. And also what I've done when I took care of myself over the years, you know, using all the anti-aging and functional medicine approaches, the right food, the microbiome, just eating right, sleeping correctly, loving, forgiving, laughing. Laughing is medicine. Smiling is medicine. So you're asking me, why am I smiling? Of course, from love, but, you know, it's also a healing. It heals me. But also loving is what heart is the biggest chakra. I mean, most people may think there's crown and whatever. It doesn't. Chakra means an area that has network of nerves and connections. Okay, the heart has a massive network of nerve and connections, and the crown chakra is where the limbic system is, and the pineal gland is. It's just loaded with nerves and connection and receptors. So really, you may say, okay, those crazy people talking chakras, but it really is. It's just a center of connectivity that is at the nerve level. You know, so that's a tremendous amount of network of nerves that are in these areas. One of the major areas of chakra is the heart chakra. So loving really has helped me all along.
Okay, so it's all about loving and laughing, and nothing can stop you. And as you mentioned, like no matter what bad thing or whatever you want to call it, what happens in someone's life, it's always thinking about what can we learn from it, what can we take out of it. One of your learnings is gratitude, as you just mentioned. So as a coach and trainer, very often people actually ask me like, so how do I find my purpose in life? So I've given a couple of speeches about that, and I think there's a lot of different ways how to find your purpose. And you said like from an early age you knew you had a purpose, you lived this purpose-driven life. And I have found my own purpose in life. I've changed my career, changed the country from Germany to China, stayed in China, became an entrepreneur. So like you, also different countries, different backgrounds. Now, what would be your advice for other people? How can anybody find their purpose in life so that they can know their why and live a more fulfilled life, and also be as resilient as you? And
you know, there is words, you know, that were very hard for me at times to understand because it's not my language. But even if it was my language, you know, I was born Christian, so in my mind, I was just, you know, meditation is in church and solitude, but really it's center too. So, you know, the word go back to center and remove all the clouds, remove all the stresses, and to be part of just oneness. And it's very hard to get there, but using some breathing exercises could really help you to get into that stage of oneness and removing all these clouds that really kind of mask the true you. And then you don't need to conform. So once you reach the oneness, once you need the wisdom of being part of the universe and knowing that you're one with the universe, one with God, one with everybody around you, and know that you have a purpose, then you are able to live a life where you don't have to look like somebody, be like somebody, or please somebody. So people want to be pleasers. You want to be loved, so you do whatever you can.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a pleaser. You need to be finding, who are you? Who are you? When people ask you, who are you? You would say, I am a medical doctor. No, but who are you? Who are you deeper? Oh, I am from Egypt. That's not who are you. My dad was an engineer. That's not who are you. Who are you is that Dalal, that from the inside, who is that purpose? How does she feel inside? How does she really reestablish that connection that is the most powerful connection, is the connection that's like this, instead of this connection. I want, I give. It's a connection that is very demanding. It's too much budget, it's too much energy wasted. When you reconnect and know who you are, all is in here, all is inside. Just go in here, look inside, connect with this massive, amazing universe. And then you become one, so you become so expandable, huge. And then you know who you are and what your mission is, and life shapes you. You know, you come like a piece of material, and then you get shaped and molded, and at the end, it's a beautiful masterpiece. Don't worry about knowing what your purpose is. You are living your purposes, whether you know or don't. It just know that you are living your purpose, live your purpose, and just know that every part of the journey leads you to the purpose. The purpose is a journey. The purpose is what you are being prepared for. And some people, their purpose ends quicker. They're ready to go at age 20, just gone. So they're going to fulfill that purpose at that time, you know?
Yeah.
So really don't worry about what the purpose is. Just start looking inside. And when you look outside, look to the big cosmos, not to, if this person likes me or that person likes me, or how can I make them love me, or how can I make them pay attention to me? No, it's once you become you, you're going to be noticeable. You're going to be loved. You're going to be known. You're going to have energy, you know. And then this is the first time I truly know that you knew me for 6 years. I just know that when I saw you last December, I connected immediately with you. I mean, it was the right time, the right moment, and we were both dressed up exactly the same. I wish you could put that video, the same color, the same everything, same energy, same purpose, same look. I just connected immediately, and you connected immediately. And I really thought it was the first time we met. But it was for me a powerful moment. Right now, that does not mean you were not important to me. It was not the right time for me and you to meet. Even though you probably saw me speak, because when you're a speaker, people know you, but sometimes don't, the speaker don't know all the people, but
Of course.
the public would know the people, the speakers. And, I was fortunate to be able to speak, and you were in the audience. But honestly, I truly did not realize you were following me. I didn't realize we had a connection, but I know that we were prepared for each other. You were prepared for that podcast. All these 6 years that you knew me, you were ready for that podcast. I mean, it's just, that's part of the purpose.
To be honest, I just feel so warm in my own heart chakra right now. I love every word that you say. I feel just so much love, even here in China, although we're both like on the opposite side right now. You're a very international person. And when we met and I asked you, hey, can we take a video? And I asked you for some advice for teams, medical advice, team leadership advice. We took this wonderful video. Yes, it was really like as if we were twins, even from our outfits. We connected immediately. Now, going back to, you are also a leader. You come from Egypt. You lived in the US. Your clients have all different kind of nationalities, religious backgrounds. They're so diverse. You've even spoken in Shanghai before. How has culture shaped you? Or what, I mean, I imagine that culture is an important factor also that you have to deal with on a daily basis.
Well, I'm a myself I'm from a melting pot. My dad is Egyptian, so I'm 50% Egyptian. My mom's dad is Egyptian, but her mother is Syrian. Her grandmother is French. So I really am a melting pot of different genetic makeup. So, I have also been raised by Catholic nuns who spoke French. So I came from a French-speaking culture. So I've been around different cultures. I came from Alexandria, Egypt, which is multinationals. So at the time when, of course, I was just in 1954 when I was born. At that time, we had lots of Greeks, and we had French and Spanish, French and Greeks and German and English, British people. All these people were living in Alexandria. Alexandria was a multinational place. So I am so used to be a part of cultures. Now, was it still a culture shock for me to leave my children and live in the US and be raised by Catholic nuns and be exposed to a completely different environment in the US? Absolutely. I was raised to say, yes, sir, and be polite and respectful and smile and not hear the words that starts with different languages. You know what I'm talking about. And, I came to medical school where we're doing externship during that very, very difficult moment of my time in the beginning of my journey in the US. I was couldn't believe that the interns would put their feet in front of the teacher, the educator, the coach, the who I would call sir, and they would call it, hey, and they call him by first name. So it was a culture shock. Of course, it was a culture shock. It was a culture shock. I came from a very well-to-do, upper middle class family, and I wanted to depend on myself. So I cleaned homes and started I was a doctor. I left everything. I had beautiful family. I had servants. I had cooks, and I decided to live on my own. So not ask from anyone. So I used to, clean for people until I found the medical environment where I could train and not accept just being a resident and graduate. No. I went to residency, fellowship training at the CDC. And from then on, learned anti-aging medicine, functional medicine. I never stopped. I just did not think I'm here to stop. I'm here to find answers to cancer. And that was the first thing. But it really now is answer to problems, root cause issues that all stem from inflammation and stress and the environment and the choices we make, every single choice we make.
You can see my cats are surrounding me, both actually right now. They love what you're saying. Before we go back to your work, because I really would love to talk a little bit more about your work as well. Just a personal question, and this is from woman to woman, and I also don't differentiate. Like, I'm also here to serve humans, right? But we women sometimes everybody needs role models, not just women. But I personally find it very hard to find female role models, female mentors. I've been looking for a female mentor for a very long time, especially after I started here in China, started my own company 5 years ago. because I worked at HP, I was always in a male environment. I feel comfortable working with men. I know how to communicate with them, and it is good. But again, for me, it's difficult to find these female mentors and role models, especially where I can really say, now, this is not about competition. This is really, okay, I connect with this person because of a woman. And sometimes we need these same gender role models. Now, I'm wondering, like, what was your age when you had moved abroad? And also, like, if you don't mind me asking and sharing this, I'm wondering, like, when were you reconnected or reunified with your family, and especially your children?
Well, I moved to the US at age 29. And I had 2 boys, and I have not seen my boys for almost a year and a half. And at the time when I was in the US, and that brings tears to my heart, my eyes at times, it was very expensive to call Egypt at the time. It's not like now. It's not internet. It's not very inexpensive ways than WhatsApp. It was $1.50 a minute. And I would call my sons, and they would not know who I am, and they would hang up. And I would spend minutes, 30 minutes, which is $45, which for a person who does not want to depend on any of her resources, her mom's or her husband or anybody, it was hard-earned money that I didn't have. And for me, it was even more painful. I'm sorry. Smiling
No.
despite the fact. So that really gave me the courage to say, I'm here on a purpose. I left my children. I thought my dad's death was very hard. Well, I tell you, leaving my children for a year and a half was harder. And when then they come, they did not know who I am. The youngest wouldn't hug me. The one who is now is computer science, he's finishing his PhD, and he's going to do postgraduate, so he want to be a professor. He's going to be at Cornell doing artificial intelligence postgraduate. So, postdoctorate training. So it was hard, but I had a mission bigger than, I had to find answer. In my heart, I wanted to find answers to cancer. So I would do whatever it took to find answer to cancer. I did the traditional way, and from the traditional way, I added other modalities, and then all the modalities together being integrated to become one modality that created systems for me. I created systems on how to evaluate patients. I created a system on how to treat a pattern or a disease, how to look for genetic changes and how to correct these changes by understanding what defect happened that led to a function that is dysfunctional, a function in the system that is not working properly, and what can we add to overcome that. So it took years, and yes, that's why I want to support women, because there's not many women who are, there is a lot, but not as many as it needs to be, that have gone through what I went through. Not many left their children. Not many had to almost die 3 times in the recently and still going. There's not many who would almost lose everything and start over and still gain again. It's a continuum, and it's resilience, and it's determination, and it's following my mission path. Did I answer your question, or did I take you away from the answer?
No, absolutely. And I'm the more you say, the more you inspire with your determination, resilience, what you have gone through. Oh my gosh. You're becoming more and more of a role model. Now, I want to ask you a couple of questions about cancer. And this is like, I mean, I am interested in medicine. I have a Russian-born mother. She came to Germany when she was young, but I was born and raised in Germany. I have a German dad. And we were always interested in healing ourselves. We are Reiki practitioners. We learned about like the Russian way of like alternative healing. We're into homeopathy here in China. I see my traditional Chinese medicine doctor all the time, go for acupuncture and so on. Now, I have the feeling that cancer is everywhere. Like everybody you're talking to, like every second, third, fourth person seems to like get cancer nowadays. And I don't know if this has always been the case, but there was no social media, no news reporting about it globally like 50 years ago. Like, I don't know, like, why do so many people have cancer nowadays? And do you have some advice for us on how we can like prevent it? Because I feel like it's so scary and it's everywhere.
90% of cancer is preventable, even if people have the genes and predisposition to develop cancer. There's two things. One is to work on understanding what stress means. And stress is really a reaction of the body to an environmental change. And that change is used most of the time is not the change that you would want. And that's your body reaction to by getting into a fight or flight mode. But that's what the stress is. It's here to stay. It's not going to go away. So unless you adapt to understand the stress, also the genes we have to handle stress were based on, it takes a lot of time, a lot of years for genes to evolve. So the genes we have for fight and flight are still the same genes as we had almost 3 or 4 centuries ago that had to do with us living in the wilderness, and we had to deal with wild animals and wild, like lions and all that. So we have all these genes are at heightened, and they've not adapted to the change here. So right now, when you are upset with me when I told you good morning the wrong way, you react as if I was a lion and that I'm going to kill you, and then you're going to attack me because your genes have not evolved enough to respond appropriately. So you can modify those genes by either meditating or getting centered, as they say, or getting to church or getting to the mosque or just going to a temple. But you have to really understand that the genes have not evolved fast enough with all the fast changes. So we don't have a lion anymore. We don't have those, but our body react to a small event as if it's a massive thing. So we still, the surge of hormones that is coming out is a huge surge of hormones that are a neurotransmitter that can be dangerous. So we have not evolved enough. So that's one thing that really leads to stress. So if we know that if we are eating properly, if we're sleeping good, we can handle stress better. If we're centered, if we're learning to use breathing to control ourselves, we're able to really help the limbic system to really act instead of react to adversities. So that is the key factor, because that cortisol, which is a very important hormone when it comes to stress and fight or flight, affects 25% of gene expression. So a lot of the genes that are dormant are turned on or turned off according to a message from cortisol. So imagine only one hormone alone control 25% of all your genetic makeup. Crazy strong. So just working on understanding stress, stressors, and how to really modify stress, and how to really act to stress and not react. So the stress is actually a reaction to an environmental change. And if we feel that this is an adversity change, we react as if it's something we have to fight or flight from. So that's one thing that is important to prevent. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, this is already really good advice. I mean, we know we have to eat well. We know we gotta sleep well, right? Sometimes we still don't do this, but it's good to know how big of an impact stress has, especially in order also to get us cancer. And I think we all are able to learn to manage our stress. It is actually not impossible. I mean, this is like doable by everybody. You don't need to be rich to learn how to manage stress. So thanks for sharing that. I think you wanted to mention a second part here.
Well, you were asking what else can help us prevent cancer. One other thing that is really helpful to prevent cancer is understanding that most cancer stems from inflammation. Inflammation stems from stress, of course, but also the wrong, what we call the microbiome. If you don't have the right bacteria that are part of your immune system, you become inflamed. So that is another thing. Also viruses, a lot of viruses cause inflammation, and inflammation can trigger cancer. So people with infectious mono, people who have herpes, people who has HIV, they are prone to develop certain cancers. So in general, viruses can lead to enough inflammation to trigger cancer. That's another factor. So really changing the microbiome would be a great thing in understanding that. But we can talk more about cancer prevention. Of course, food is medicine, and a food that causes more inflammation in the body can cause more cancer as well. So understanding all the things that lead to inflammation would eventually lead to cancer.
Wow, I feel like more people need to know this, actually. Thanks for sharing. Luckily, I'm going for a checkup in a hospital today.
Oh, I hope you feel great, my beautiful friend.
Thank you. No, I'm feeling good, but in the last 3 months, I've had so many colds and little viruses. So I thought it's nothing bad, right? But it's a sign that something has to change. I got to do something about it. So thanks for giving me these tips as well, or giving it to us. Now, let's talk about China, because soon we have to wrap up our wonderful interview. I know that you're also busy and you might want to rest because it's late in the evening for you now, nearly 9 p.m. I know you've been to China, you've given speeches in Shanghai. I know that you are training, and I know you want to train even more of these experts and people in the world. So in the US, you have a couple of medical clinics now. I've been wondering how you have developed this, because it's not just one, it's several, as I have seen it online. And also, what do you want to do with China? Tell us a bit more.
Well, I would love to really, we are franchising our med, so that's part of what I'm going to educate people on how to really perform as I do. I also created a training program for men and women. I also have a book called How to Create a Multi-Million-Dollar Clinic and Still Offer the Most Amazing Help. So that's a great book on Amazon. That would be part of my training program and education for doctors and healthcare professionals, whether they're coaches or nurse practitioner or chiropractor. And I also have developed a cream and a line of treatment that could be delivered through the skin that has very empowering. And we call it Cleopatra Secret, because I've learned a lot of the secrets about the power of natural things that Cleopatra and the pharaohs used, and they are exceptional and they are amazing for skincare and for other reasons. So I'm hoping that in China, we will develop some of these, and I want to show you some of them. I did not intend to do that, but it happened to be here. So these are—
Oh, please do, because I've heard about these Cleopatra
some of
products
the
before.
bottles we're going to have the cream in. They're going to be this. This is
Mhm.
where we're going to package it. So as you can see, and this one for packaging of our cream, and some of the essence is going to be in this. Is that not pretty?
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
And I mean, you yourself look like a Cleopatra. I used to call my cat Cleopatra because of the way how she was always walking. And only for us, you even dressed in red because you know red is the lucky color in China. So when and where can we start buying your newest Cleopatra line?
I am hoping the new product would be, because we already using it for a lot of our current people, but I want to mass produce this, and I'm hoping by probably before the end of 24, it should be. I'm hoping to really start with you also in China, and anything you could do to help me make this a reality, because I can show you before and after pictures of many, many people, and it will change your mind. It will really, you won't believe it. So I would be delighted one day to have a Zoom meeting and show you before and after of many people that I have used this product on, and show you incredible things. So
I've already seen a couple of your pictures. Maybe for our listeners, you can tell again what the cream can do for them.
well, you know, there is several different ones, and one of them really can help you lift your face and makes an amazing facelift in a matter of moments. And usually when I do it, I do half of the face at the same time. But here, I just had an open heart surgery, as you can see. And barely anyone can see, so you can see the effect of that surgery, that cream on. Can you see the surgery? You barely can
Oh,
see.
yes, I do. But it doesn't look that big. I mean, you just said open heart surgery, so I would imagine like
It's,
a huge
was,
scar.
it was this big of a
Oh my
scar.
gosh.
But because of the use of that cream, it really helped to make it almost look part of my skin. So, yep.
Wow.
So
And again, I'm just amazed. So no, we're definitely going to talk about this offline again, because I really would love to have your products here in China as well. I'm pretty sure that many people would like it. I mean, they're very open-minded. A lot of Asians like these kind of products. I mean, not only Asians. And who doesn't want to be nearly 70 and look as young as you do? Now, we're slowly wrapping it up so that you can also get some rest tonight. What are your last words that you want to share with us? Is it that you really want people to know as a reminder out of the many things on how you have already inspired us? Is there any other support that you would need from us that we can also do for you?
share and share and share. Amplify my voice. Help me complete my mission. I survived 2 strokes. I survived an open heart surgery. I survived a bleeding from a massive pseudoaneurysm of my foot. I've survived hurricane category 5 in Acapulco. I'm still here, I think, because I have not completed my mission. Of course, if I complete my mission, I probably will be gone. But if you allow me to help me see that mission is becoming a reality, I will feel great. But if God wants that somebody else continue my mission, at least I want my voice amplified enough for those people to hear it. So I'm ready for a big boost.
Wow, what a powerful message at the end. I would want to encourage everybody here who's listening. I hope you took your notes, all the inspiration you got, the learnings, whether it's about cancer prevention, it's about loving and laughing, how to be as determined as Dr. Dalal, finding your purpose, how to be resilient. Please start taking action. And if there's something you like today, share it, tell your friends, your family members about it. And for anybody who has connections in the medical field, not just here in China, but use them. Tell them about Dr. Dalal so we can get her on site in person to learn even more from her. And I'm definitely going to make sure we talk more one-on-one, that we can sell and create your products, a beautiful Cleopatra line also in Shanghai or in China. I just want to say from deep of my heart, thank you for not making excuses, for being here, for inspiring, for sharing the time with me, and for everything that you're doing for humanity and the world. Thanks for joining, and I wish you all the best, and I can't wait to support you even more.